want to get some tips and tricks about sales. So we're going to talk about that. And then the second thing we will talk about is the summit that I am in and he's hosting. So we're going to talk about that as well. So if you guys are in any industry, just drop your niche into the comments, and so we'll know, like, we'll gauge what type of sales that you have, or any questions about sales, drop them in the comments and Andrew will be able to answer them. But starting off, let me have Andrew tell me his story and what got him here today. Andrew, go ahead and let us know your origin story.
So thanks, Ian. Thanks for having me on. It's definitely an honor. I know we've known each other for quite a while, but where I started off, it's interesting. I didn't start off in sales wanting to be a sales guy. Sales itself has a lot of negative connotations to it. When you think of sales, what's the first thing that pops up in your mind when you think about a sales guy or sales gal?
Actually, my relationship with sales has totally transformed. So it wouldn't be like, I really think sales are a way to enroll people to change their life. And so it's a different relationship for me and sales. But general sales, if people enter the online space or just they enter a place where they're going to be sold to, it feels kind of sleazy and kind of weird.
Could you say almost like a used car sales guy? I think that's the thing that everybody thinks about when they think sales guy.
Yes.
Suit, tie, gold chain, diamond earrings, whatever it may be. And it's funny because the way that I started out was I went to college back east. So I went to college at George Washington University and I studied engineering. So I got my degree in engineering management. So I took my five-year program, did that. And I graduated in 2009, which I don't know if that was the same year for you, Kim, but graduated in 2009, and everything that they promised me during college, such as you're going to work hard, you're going to study in college, and you're going to find a job. You're doing engineering. It's the hardest thing that's out there. You'll be fine. I graduated, 0 job offers, 0 internships, 0 unpaid and free internships. The people that were already at the companies, the engineering companies that I wanted to go to, were getting let go. Everybody was on a hiring freeze, and people were getting let go that were in upper management or middle management, whatever. So I was in this crazy position where I had spent a ton of money in college, and I didn't have a job. So the first one that came up was a sales job. It was a sales engineering job, thankfully. So I took it open with open arms, and I got into there being a sales manager. I said, okay, so what kind of sales experience do you have? I said, I don't have anything. So it's interesting that was over a decade ago. And I'm still here today, still selling and still really enjoying selling. But the funny thing about this story is that I went from selling $47 products all the way up to selling $250,000 products. The way that I sell is not by any sort of sales trickery or sleazy sales tactics or use certain verbiage in order to close. The only really key thing that I do is I go out there and I solve problems. And as long as you can solve your customers' problems, you always have a sale.
Wow. So that tells me that you should not confine the conversation that you have with anyone based on the products that you already have pre-made. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly right. So there's a couple, there's a lot of tricks that you can use in sales, but these aren't tricks to trick your customer. So sales is all about the customer. A lot of times in business, whether you're in business for yourself, whether you're working for somebody else, we get so consumed with whatever we're trying to sell or whatever we're pushing or whatever company that we're with. So, yeah, you know what? Like my product, say like a telephone. It's like, this telephone is so cool. It's got a 15,000 megapixel camera, and the DPI dots per square inch is insanely good. It's got the Generation 10 Intel processor and all these other features and benefits. But when you think about it, when a customer walks up to a phone booth, say like a Verizon or an AT&T phone booth, do they really want all that jargon? They really want to know, how many thousands of megapixels something is, or really want to know exactly what kind of processor is in there. it's all good and well. Their features and their benefits, you can tell, well, your speed is going to be 10 times as fast, and your camera is going to look 10 times as good or sharp. More often than not, your customer is not going to be that total tech guru that's going to know all those things. He or she is going to go up to the phone booth and he's going to say, I want a phone that can take pictures. The picture's got to look nice. I want to be able to text, email, and make phone calls. Can your phone do that? And if your phone can do that, then you have a sale. So I specialize in high ticket sales. So high ticket is jargon or something that we use to throw out there. And these are products that are $2,000 and above. But when you're trying to sell these products, it is a lot different than trying to sell a $50 or $100 product. This is a product that you really have to convince your customer of an ROI. And if anybody doesn't know what ROI is, it stands for return on investment. So when you're pitching a very high dollar product, you always want to key in not on the features, but onto whatever the benefit's going to be for the customer. So you say, hey, Mrs. Customer, what this means when you buy my product is that you're going to get your ROI back in 1 month, in 6 months. You're going to be able to make 10 times as much money as you have right now, or it's going to save you 10 times as much time, which relates to more time to spend in your business, more time with your family. You get out and do your hobbies, whatever it is that you want to do.
Oh, yeah. And I actually am part of a mastermind where it is that, like, it's specialized in high ticket sales. And when I got into that world, I literally looked at sales very differently. And when I got into that world and I saw how they sold more high ticket, it's like every single person, you have a script. There's still a script.
There's still a script.
But you are better at listening. You become better at listening to what it is that they have that they're struggling with. And if your program can solve that, the things that they list, and then you can address those things, then it makes it a lot easier. However, I'm not an expert. I just got into it. So I want to ask you specifically. And before I continue, I want to say hey to everyone. Hey, Leo. Hey, Larry. Hey, Heather. Hey,
yeah, I see Michael's in here too. Hey, Michael.
Huh? Hey, Arthur. Hey, Thomas. Thanks for joining. Mike says, what's up? Hey, Mike. Thomas says someone needs to mute their mic. Oh, mute their mic? Do you have to mute their mic or I mute my mic? No one is joining with like another audio right now. So it's either notifications on each of our computers or something, maybe. Hey, Diane. Let me know about the sound, you guys, because people have been complaining about the sound because there's an echo in this room. So I'm trying to figure out OBS and like putting more pads in this room to make sure it's not so empty and echoey.
Oh, I see you got the pads right on the back there, Kim.
Yeah, I need to add more of those.
Yeah.
But what is your, because here's the blueprint for the program I'm in, like a very vague blueprint.
Yeah.
You connect with them, rapport, and then you ask about why they chose you to make them sell themselves on you right away. Why you? And then you ask them what are the things that haven't been working, and then you ask them what is the cost? What is the cost for them if they continue staying the way that they are? So
Correct.
What's the true cost? And the true cost could be time, relationships, true cost could be a lot of costs, like health. And then you transition that into, okay, you got to handle this. You need to have this handled right now. What is your level of commitment after you said everything, like after all the pains? And then they tell you their level of commitment. They're like, this has to be handled now. My level of commitment is a 10, right? Yep. And then after that, then you do the closing. And, the closing is its own journey, but I haven't learned as much about that in the program. I'm doing very well with it, but there's so much more that I need to learn still. But that's like the picture framework from someone who's barely learning about it and not having like a decade of experience with it. Is that something similar? And if it is similar, what are the differences in that framework and your current framework?
So it's extremely similar. It's almost exactly the same. What I would like to give to your audience though is that framework and the blueprint is really nice. But if you don't have the whole blueprint in front of you and you can't sit down and you can't capture it, so what I have created is my own proprietary system, which I call the sales call triangle. Now this is very simple. It's just 3 sides of the triangle, right? There's 3 corners. So on the first one, in the very base, you have listening. So you always want to be able to listen to your customer. So you like ask them questions. You know, what state are you in now? Where is it that you need to go? Are there any roadblocks that are in your way? Ask them as many questions about their personal situation as you can ask them. That way, what they're doing is they're giving you the ammunition so that you can fire back. Now, this isn't a trick. You want to be honest. You want to actually figure out what's going on with your current situation. How can I help you? Because as sales guys, especially when we're selling high ticket, we're not in this to sell them something that they don't need. That's not moral. That's not ethical. But if you find out that there's something that's missing between where they are and where they need to be, you want to be able to key in on that. So that's the first side of the triangle, is listening. The second side is going to be connecting. Now, connecting is saying, okay, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, I understand that you have a pain right here. So it really seems like you would love to, let's just take money for an example, because everybody knows money. You would really love to be able to get from $60,000 a year to maybe $100,000 a year. I really know what you're talking about because I was in the same position here 10 years ago. I remember when I had my first job and making 6 figures was just out of this world. I didn't even know how anybody did it. I thought people must have the IQ of Albert Einstein or Bill Gates in order to do so. And I really didn't understand how it was done. So what you want to do is you want to connect with your customer. You want to say, you know what? I agree with you 100% because I was in your shoes once and I felt the exact same way. Now, this is almost no matter what they say. You always want to say, you know what? I agree. I feel your pain. And as long as it's truth and it's honest, the more that you can connect with them, they get to see things through your eyes, and the same thing vice versa. So that's a step up the ladder. That's the side 2 of the triangle. Now, the very third corner of the triangle is speaking. So it's funny because everybody thinks when they think about sales, man, I need to have my script down. I need to perfect my sales pitch, my 30-second elevator pitch, my 10-minute pitch. I need to get up in front of a stage and speak in front of a bunch of people in order to sell them everything in the world. But in reality, this is the last side of the triangle, is speaking. So you think about the pitch last. You always want to think about the customer first. So the customer first, again, the customer second, where you got to connect yourself with a customer. And the third is your features and benefits, your product. Your audience, they probably know all about the value stack and how you can position a lot of these things, whether you've heard these from a person like James Smiley or Stephen Larson or Russell Brunson or any one of these influencers that's out in the market. These are all very, very good tactics, and you need to use them. But this is the last step in the piece of the puzzle. So you do want to not manipulate your pitch, but you want to key into the pain points that the customer specifically has when you speak to them. Say, hey, I understand that you're missing that $40,000 in order to get you to $100,000, but you also told me that you only work 4 days out of the 5 of the week, and you actually only work from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So there's a problem there. We're going to address that situation to try to get you to that six-figure income or revenue. Now, that's when you want to hit your customer with exactly what the benefits are. So again, not the features of whatever the product is that you're selling, whether it's software or it's technology or it's coaching or anything underneath the sun, but you want to sell them on the benefits. So how are they going to see the transformation later from where they are right now? In sales, well, the whole thing around sales, so the whole thing around the sales call triangle, the whole thing around the sales call triangle is what we in sales like to call the gap. You may have heard of this, Kim. It's really this simple. Your customer starts out here. They're present, their current situation. All you got to look for is the desired situation. You got to figure out where are they looking to go? Where are they looking to go? And the thing that's in the middle is huge. This is the gap. So as long as you can bridge that gap, that's where the solution lies. And if you can figure out where that is, I can almost guarantee you'll have a sale. There's other things that need to come into place, like, your sales message needs to look good and your product pricing needs to look good. But as long as you can fill that gap, that's when you know you have a sale. You have a purchasing customer.
Okay. How do you feel about like I saw that in the high ticket sales world, a lot of people won't hesitate to um, uh, push for the investment, even if it stretches the other person a little bit financially, or let's say they're already in financial debt, like college student loans, things like that. And this is a bigger investment for them, and they already have student loans. They already have all these things that are a lot of money. How do you frame it in your mind, or how do you frame it in general, that you sell anyway, or what do you do? How do you approach that?
So there's two different ways. One is the hard sell and the hard close. That can offset a lot of customers, but at the same token, sometimes you get the sale and you get the money. But you need to very much focus on. You can ask the customer. So, if you invest in me, like if you spend $13,000 to invest in my program, are you going to have any money left on the table to actually make a difference for yourself? And if they say, no, I just drained the well dry and I don't have anything left,
Okay.
you'll never be able to give them a result. So that is not the right thing to do. Just say, I understand my program is too expensive, so maybe you can offer them a lower cost option. So you can buy my $3,000 program. That way you still have a little bit of a nest egg. And then once we bridge that gap, we can move on to the next stage. But you want to make sure that your customer is successful. Because one unsuccessful customer, just while everybody else is, bad news spreads 10 times as fast as good news. So if somebody doesn't get a result, and it's not because of your program could be awesome. But if it's because you didn't realize that they didn't have the monetary income in order to invest in themselves, like whether it's drive Facebook ads to their own course, or whether it's invest in another part of the education that they really need. So, maybe they have sales skills, but maybe they don't know how to market themselves. So if they can't market themselves, then you can't sell yourself. If you can market yourself, but you can't sell yourself, you still can't sell. So you want to make sure that they can become successful, because this is all about, a lot of people miss this. It's amazing. A lot of people miss this. And I really want everybody who's on this live to know and understand that sales is all about your customer. This is all about your customer. Sales is not about you. So it's about you getting your customer a result, and you know that one customer with a positive result, he's going to tell 2 or 3 others. The 2 or 3 others are going to tell more, and then it's going to spread like wildfire. That, hey, Kim Dang, Andrew Zumi, Pablo Gonzalez, whoever it may be, they're doing the right thing, and we really need to go invest in them because they get all their students results. Like, they know what they're doing, and then sales becomes very easy. So I guess that was a little bit long, but that's one way you can push for the hard sell. But I would very much caution people about taking every last drop of money, because you want people to succeed, and if they can't succeed, then it is what it is. If they really, so I have to preface this by saying you always want to qualify your customers and ask them. You do want to ask them the money question. If I asked you to make a decision today, what amount of funding can you come up with to be included in my program? You don't give them the price. You say, do you have enough funds to make this thing move forward? And they'll let you know. They'll say, you know what, I'm broke. I don't have any money. And then it kind of is what it is. Very few customers, if any at all, I don't think anybody has ever told me, Andrew, I got $50,000 in the bank. I know your program costs 18 grand, so I'm ready to spend it. Nobody ever going to tell you that. Or very, very small customers will. If they do tell you that, that customer is going to take action. They're going to see results, and they're going to become better at whatever they do after they're done with you. So that's the customer that you always want to take on. But most customers will say, well, I can put a little bit aside. I don't really know how much I have right now, but, maybe I got like 2 grand. We'll see. But you always want to see what situation your customer is in at that point in time. So just to move on to the last piece, so I want to answer the second part of your question, or the other part of my answer is the follow-up. Now, a lot of people forget about follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
People think, okay, I schedule my sales call on my Bookify or my Calendly or whatever sort of calendar that you guys use these days. Okay, I've got 30 minutes to make this sale. And if not, I got to move on to the next one, hit him or her and see if I can sell that person too. Now, don't forget about the person that says, I don't have any money right now, but I'm very interested in your product. Don't forget about that person. Throw them into your CRM system. A CRM system stands for a customer relationship management system. That's something like a Salesforce, a Pipedrive, a HubSpot. There's so many of them out there these days, and they all operate and function very similarly. But throw them into your pipeline and say, okay, Jennifer, okay, Mark, I understand that you don't have any money right now. Let me reconnect with you in 2 months. I'm gonna throw you on my schedule so that I'll give you a call, I'll shoot you an email, whatever it may be. With automation these days, you can actually have it automatically go out to them with you having to do anything. Shoot them an email and say, hey, I really wanted you to follow up with a phone call. You seem like you'd be a great fit for my program, but I know money was a little bit of an issue. Are you in a different situation right now? And if so, I would love to connect and see how I can help you out along the way. And that really primes the pump for all those customers that could have been lost that come right back into your pipeline, because people do appreciate follow-up. Say, man, Kim Dang actually took the time to follow up with me a month, and she remembered exactly what I was talking about. You can even like pre-write your emails if you want to. She remembered that I was talking about Chrome extensions, and I really wanted to buy this program, but I couldn't find $1,000, but I finally found it, and like I want to invest right now. And if you're the first person in front of their face, say, oh yeah, I don't need to go find anybody else. I already talked to Kim Dang. I know, like, and trust her. I've seen her on social media. She's shooting me emails. She's giving me value. Let's pull out my credit card and where do I swipe? So don't discount the people that you immediately think are not qualified for your program, because in a month or two, you could come back to them and they could be eager and ready to buy. So it's all about relationship building, following up with people. As long as you understand this person is somebody who's going to take action, somebody who's going to really see results from your program, it's a very critical step.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see more of that, like the follow-up is part of it, but I do forget the fact that the follow-up is huge, even though in my own life, like I used to pay for this software that's for one of my businesses. It's like car parts, and
Yeah.
it literally is $2,000 to install. They charge you 2,000 off the bat, and then they charge you 575 a month for you to pay for the program. And I got one call with the guy, and then he followed up religiously for I think 12 times without me answering back because I'm just busy. So I'm like, like just in my own world, do my own thing. And he would be like, hey, Kim, maybe you need the software. Hey, Kim, maybe you need the software. And no replies from me. And I think on the 13th time he called me, I was like, okay, let's do it, without feeling any kind of thing against him for bugging me that often. Like I was okay with that,
We all get busy. We get multiple hundreds of emails in our inbox every single day. So you got to be in front of your customer's face. You do have to be aggressive, and don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Once you've done your homework, don't be afraid to ask for the sale.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I just feel like for those who aren't so like trying to learn about it, trying to figure it out, they see it as scary and salesy, especially if back then my mentality was, I'm gonna just try this thing, and if it doesn't work, then it's not, then it's a scam. Like I just discount it right away. And I feel like people who have that feeling of like, this is scammy, this doesn't work, it's because they barely try a little bit of it and then they didn't get results, and then they get discouraged, and then they crawl back, to what they were doing before. And I feel like that's such a shame, because if you really try and you don't quit on a lot of the things, they work. It works out. And I feel like uh, anyways, my relationship with sales changed because my relationship with trying out programs and actually putting in effort, and my relationship with putting in the work, putting in the, the necessary steps needed to succeed changed. And that made my relationship with sales change as well. It's an interesting transformation that I feel. But
it's really cool because you're not pushing on the sale. You're not feeling like you're being salesy. You're really just trying to help somebody out. And when they see that, that person, guy or gal, will actually go through your program, go take your product, and actually will take action with it instead of just buying it, putting it in their back pocket, and saying, "Well, maybe I'll save this for later."
yeah, so I feel like the sales is about that one individual that you're changing, but also that individual only wants to change because of you. And
Exactly
are
right.
their inspiration, that they transform their life because they trust that your words are real.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they buy your program and they don't believe that you're real, they won't try it out, or they'll put it in their back pocket, so to speak.
And they won't get any results, and then they may talk badly about you down the road, and then you never know. That's the customer that none of us, they all exist out there. None of us want it. That's a dangerous customer, the one that buys your product and doesn't actually use it, because he or she may go down the road 3 4 months from now, and they may be a huge influencer, and they may tell all their friends, like, you know what, I bought that program. Yeah, that thing don't work. And then that's maybe all they would say. No one's ever going to ask them, so did you go through the whole thing? Did you actually apply the concepts that are on there? They may just say, yeah, I bought that program, but no, it don't work. That's dangerous, because it's out of your control at that point in time. And you never know. You could have lost 500 customers from there, like just within that one split second.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I want to spend the second half of this not going off into like the fearful part of sales and creating your programs, but I want to talk about your upcoming Summit Ignite. And I really like the fact that you made these pictures of everyone. I wonder if
Show them yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna post mine on my wall soon, but this is what mine looks like, everyone.
Yeah.
Really accurate.
And then Kim, you've even got your can you tell everybody what your spear symbol is?
My spirit symbol on here? It's a rope.
Yep.
Yeah, rock climbing. Whoa. Because I have a green screen, it's all crazy. That's really cool. I really like the effort that you put into making this. It's very high quality, man. And my part, you guys, it's about VA and outsourcing. Even though we're talking about sales right now. Hey, Obaid. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Yogesh. If you guys have any questions about sales psychology, but we're gonna now transition into talking about his summit. And this is about, a lot of it is about high ticket, so that's why we start off with sales. There's high ticket price, attract high ticket clients, per prospecting, make your customers feel understood, and all the things that is on here. I know you guys don't see it, but so tell me, what inspired you to create a virtual summit, Andrew, of all the things that you could be doing? Why a virtual summit?
Yeah, so out of all the things that I could have been doing, I chose a virtual summit, and there was a specific reason why I did so. I know the last time that we had conversation, Kim, I was just starting this virtual summit, or not the last time that we had conversation, but it was maybe
a while ago.
It was like 6 or 8 months ago. So this has been in the making for quite a long time. Now, I heard about virtual summits at this event, Funnel Hacking Live, and I thought it was a great concept. What I didn't really understand was that I saw a lot of virtual summits that were out there, and there were tons of speakers on the virtual summits. It didn't seem like there was very much structure to it. Either it was just like a hodgepodge of a lot of different speakers. Some were very high quality, or they were influencers, which is really great stuff, and they have very powerful things to say. But as I was looking at the virtual summit, I said, well, there's really no structure to it. There's really no form. Some of the other virtual summits were actually really good. Like they'll talk about whether it's about Facebook, or maybe they'll talk about affiliate marketing, or they'll talk about something else, which is extremely valuable. But I thought I'd take just a little bit of a different approach to try to set the summit out from the rest. So what I did is I took 18 rockstar speakers, one of them being Kim Dang, and everybody here is placed intentionally in a specific place during the summit. So the summit takes place August the 5th through August the 8th, and it's free to register, so it's no cost to you. If you do want to buy the book, you want to buy the VIP pass, then those are options for yourself, but it's free to register, and everybody is placed throughout those 4 days with intent. The reason why I call it Summit Ignite is because this is about us in our entrepreneurship journey, going from the bottom and scaling up to the top of the mountain. So this is everything from understanding exactly what your message is, truly what your value is. Like Kim Dang talks about, I keep saying your full name. So we climb up the ladder a little bit. Well, we've got a gentleman, Joe Lawrence. He's talking about how to get business credit for your business in order to help jumpstart it. We've got other guys that are talking about SEO and the new hot thing, podcasting. Kind of as we reach a little bit higher into the summit where you really need to hire your own team. Kim does talk about hiring VAs, trying to figure out how to outsource through different websites or different platforms. We have another guy who talks a little bit more about business management. And we have a few people that talk about sales as well. So this is all about where to start your journey and how to excel up the mountain, just little by little. But this isn't only meant for the aspiring entrepreneur or the newbie entrepreneur. This is also meant for people that have been in business for maybe 20 or 30 years. So you'll get the Summit Ignite program to find out exactly what you want to listen to. So maybe you're someone who's really been successful in business, but podcasting sounds like a really cool thing, and you love to know the ins and outs to it. So I've interviewed a gentleman by the name of Seth Green, and Seth actually, he's the co-founder, or he's the co-host of the podcast Sharkpreneur with the shark Kevin Harrington. So he's like a $5 billion man, I do believe, speaking at 10X and whatnot. So he's talking about podcasting, telling us the ins and outs, why you want to do it in this day and age, and what he's seen throughout the years. So every speaker has their insights, and if you get the book, every speaker.
Wait, who is this man? Which one is he?
So he's on page 73, I think.
73?
Yes, 73. So his name is Seth Green.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's crazy. How did you get Seth in here?
7-time best-selling author. So I met Seth at Funnel Hacking Live as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great people, and the awesome thing is that everybody's got a different skill set. So you're not going to see the same thing more than once. Mm-hmm. Whether they're talking about hiring, some people are talking about firing, because unfortunately, owning a business, sometimes we do have to do those things, but it's definitely a good thing to know exactly when it needs to be done and what you need to look for.
Oh, wow.
So this is all about, this is a summit that I want you guys to not just to go through once, but to have this asset for, whenever in your business, so that you can reference it for later. If you need to know exactly what sales looks like, if you're interested in podcasting, SEO, et cetera, or maybe you're going for a new direction in your business and you really want to go all the way back to the basics and you want to start something new and say, what else can I do?
Yeah, that's cool to have Zeki in here.
Yeah, Zeki's in here too. So Zeki talks about growing your organic following. He talks a lot about Facebook. Zeki's an awesome guy.
Zeki is actually he's launching a Chrome extension. Do you know that?
Oh no, he was telling me he was going to launch something soon, but
he's launching a Chrome extension this week, and so I'm like all about it because he used my he's in my program. He was in my program since the beginning. He was just inactive for a long time, and then he activated himself, and then he started using my developers, and now he has a product. So it's
very cool, Zeki.
So wow, cool. So guys, if you join, if you get a ticket to Summit Ignite, I'm going to throw in my own bonuses. So one of my bonus is you're going to get three of my extensions, and the three ones are, one is GroupConvert. You'll get GroupConvert, and that will help you convert your groups into buying members. A lot of people love GroupConvert. You're going to get the secret.
I love GroupConvert.
Yeah. You're going to get the secret funnel hacking extension that I have that I only provide sometimes when there's interviews and lives. And that one helps you cut down the time on creating ClickFunnels pages and portals because you can copy and paste. And then another one is a Chrome extension I'm launching, and you guys have early access to it. It will let you selectively, since you guys know ClickFunnels, some of you know the ClickFunnels world, it'll let you selectively decide where in your ClickFunnels admin portal will someone see what's going on. So if you hire someone to build your funnel for you, if you have an agency, you will be able to have more people sign up to your agency because you can reassure them, hey, I'm only going to see the funnel I'm working on. I won't see how much you make. I won't see your settings. I won't be able to change all the things that could be, financially not good if someone has a hold of your settings. So that's the third Chrome extension that I'm going to give as a bonus for this. And it's very valuable, all those three combined, if you go and get a ticket. So that's my bonuses for the Summit Ignite. I am in it, so you'll see me talk, but you'll see other people that you probably know in here as well, in like Zeki. A lot of you guys probably know who Zeki Ahmed is. Let's see. So at this point, I want to ask if there are any questions. If you guys have any questions at all, we're going to open it to general Q&A. And also, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to just ask Andrew my own questions. So let me know, Kevin or Obaid, if you guys have any questions for Andrew. And how's the sound? Because I really want to make sure the sound is okay. I've been trying to fix the sound for the past weeks.
Oh man, Jim. That's okay to me.
It sounds okay to you? Yeah, because this is Zoom. I'm broadcasting it on OBS as well. But yeah, guys, if you don't have any questions, I will ask a few more questions and then we will wrap this up. So the question I want to ask Andrew is, what is next for you during this launch and then after the summit? What are your plans after the summit, and what are your plans in general? Like, what are your goals this upcoming year?
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably just like everybody else out there. I've got this, not this whiteboard, but another huge one that's downstairs that has my whole like, I'll call it my master plan. What's next is there's kind of a lot of things in the pipeline right now. The very next thing is, if you look on the back of this book, this is my program, High Ticket Momentum. Mm-hmm. And this is launching within the next 24 to 48 hours. So that's actually very exciting. I put together all the valuable information, the content, created diagrams, worksheets, homework, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I put it all into an 8-week course. And my focus here is to help customers increase their sales by 40% over 8 weeks. And if you can increase your sales by 40% in the next 8 weeks by selling more high ticket offers, then I've done my job. The nice thing about high ticket offers is that it only takes a couple to really make a big dent in your wallet. And maybe dent is not the right word, big impact in your wallet. All you got to just do is sell 2 or 3 more and find those right key customers, then it'll be awesome for you. So that's the next thing coming out. So actually Kim and I are writing a book together. We don't actually know, or I don't know if the title's being changed on that book, but we've got a book coming out. I've got another book on overcoming adversity. which I'm actually leading. So that one's coming out in late October. Uh, I've got a live event that's launching in November, specifically on sales.
Oh, wow. Another live event in October?
Yeah, so this won't be a virtual event. This will be a live event. It'll be held somewhere around the LAX, the Los Angeles airport.
Oh,
And
wow.
this
Who in October? Okay, that's really
October.
cool.
I've got a business. I've got a business. I've got a booklet on business processes coming out. It's everything that I've done throughout my management experience in order to automate my own systems and automate people as well. Believe it or not, you can also do that. And that's not in any sort of a bad way. But I wrote a booklet on business processes and exactly how you go about your own internal business and how to get your business working for you rather than you working for your business.
Oh, wow. That's
That's
crazy. You have a pretty busy schedule ahead.
yeah. So that's what's coming in 2019 and 2020 is a little bit out there. I've got my plans for that, but I'll keep those kind of under wraps for now until I get 2019 all solved.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a lot of 2019 left because we just barely crossed, half of the year.
Yep.
So definitely a lot of things to do left, and I'm really excited. I'm just happy that I can be part of your experience and your journey with launching your virtual summit. And in support of it, you guys, I am throwing in 3 Chrome extensions for you. So if you're on the fence of my Chrome extensions or of getting a ticket, then go ahead and click on my link to grab the ticket. I'm going to post it in the description here, as well as on the YouTube channel. That all of these interviews that I do, you guys go to my YouTube channel. So if you miss something and you don't want to log on to Facebook to watch it, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to also include a link on that in the description as well. Where can they find you, Andrew, besides clicking on my Summit Ignite link? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me also. By clicking on Kim's link, you can find me on Facebook. My profile name is Andrew, middle initial A, last name Izumi. That's Izumi. I think I'm probably on the Facebook on the Facebook tag. But yeah, I respond to private messages. I'm on there live once a day, twice a day, every other day. It varies. And I love to give as much value as I can. So whether it's value through a story, value through some sort of sales experience that I've had in the past, I'm more than happy to share, to answer questions, and to guys help you all out along your sales journey. Sales is definitely a thing that's necessary in any business, really, because without sales, unfortunately, we don't have a business. So give me questions, more than happy to answer them, and that's the best place to find me.
All right, cool. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.